one. Hello, you. How are we doing, folks? It's Sunday night, and if you hear a lot of banging tonight, it's because some asshole's letting a fireworks up my way. Go figure. It's a mad British thing that nobody for the hell of me understands anymore. Tonight we're here with Audio to tackle the first two stories in Paul McGann's Time War series. The stories in question, alongside Raki Fakar's new companion Bliss, for some reason called Emma in the first story, then Sheena, or whatever the hell it was, but there we go, is the Starship of Theseus and Echoes of War. We go from a holiday spaceship type deal with time collapsing in amongst itself to a jungle-like planet where a Dalek is leading the way. What do you think about these two first opening stories in this set? Well, you're about to find out. But before we get to that, let's get to this. Joining us from Tottenham, it's Philip Archer. How are we doing, Phil?
Good evening on this wonderful bonfires night.
Yeah.
Don't explode too much, Graham, in your review.
Oh, what can I say, mate? I'm always up for a bang. And all the way from NYC, Mr. Walmadina. How are we doing, Megan?
Hey now, how you doing, everybody? Good
to see you, mate. Early doors on a Monday morning. It's the thunder from down under. AJ, how's it going, man?
Hi guys, how are you?
Another way for Techie go. He has a beard that must be feared, but he's forever revered. It's Texas Tumwell. How are we doing, Timbo?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's what we like. So, guys, this the Spaceship of Theseus. Opening story, opening thoughts, opening debate. What did we reckon for Paul McGann and Raki Fakar and their opening outing? Somewhat confusing? Let's find out. AJ, opening thoughts?
Yeah, when I first heard the story, it was kind of a little bit confusing because the Doctor kept changing the name of his companion, but it wasn't that. It was ripples of the Time War and all that. No, I thought that was really clever. It was subtle because you didn't really realize it until hang on, wasn't it Sheena first and this and that and that?
Yeah.
So it was clever. It was very, very subtle.
Emma, I believe as well at one point. There you go.
Yes. But I wish they had a slight sound effect for when a time ripple happens, so that way you can be like, oh, okay, so that's what that is. It's the effects of the Time War. But yeah, this story and the one that follows, just brilliant. Almost first season for the new series feel to it.
Right.
A little bit loopy, but it's got pretty good sci-fi in it. So yeah.
I can cover that, mate. Okay, Timbo, opening thoughts for you on this one, mate. Starship of Theseus.
It wasn't bad, but yeah, I thought it seemed like it was kind of going nowhere because they kept changing it around, and the girl disappears at one point. I found it a bit confusing. I think I especially didn't really like the second part. Apparently, I mean, the only way you're gonna be able to review this whole because it's a 4-part story apparently. So I mean, what you've got is the first half of the whole story.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think at some point, I don't know if it's the fault of the writing, but it's like a lot of stuff is going on and you're hearing it, but you're not getting any kind of visual picture of it because they're not explaining what's going on. And I don't know. That doesn't happen too often with these kind of audio dramas.
No, it doesn't. No.
And so I was kind of surprised. Maybe they should have had a narrator or something.
All right, fair enough, mate. Philip, how about you, mate?
Like everything else, I was kind of fireworks. It was so annoying. Like everything else, I was quite confused by how the companion kept changing along the story narrative. I'm like, what's going on there? I wasn't quite aware that it was to do with the Time War ripples going throughout where they were. The story itself, it didn't have much going for it, I thought.
Okay.
Until the second segment, which we will go into later on. This part, it just felt like a setting piece story to set the ground out what's to happen beyond. It didn't have much meat on the bone for me, so I was just like going through the motions of just listening to it and just letting it play out.
Okay, fair enough, mate. Well, do you concur with the group, mate? What's happening?
Well, a little bit agree, but what confused me, of course, was the companion, starting off with Sheena, then changing to Emma, then changing to Louise, and of course Sheena was voiced by Olivia Vinali. It was a different actress. Yep. And then so of course when you hear the Ape Doctor saying, "Hey, I don't remember how we first met, how you became my companion," I said right there. I noticed that means the time war is taking effect with the companion. So I don't know. Maybe will any other boxer will show that maybe he met her in the future, and then so, you know, it's when it comes to that Sheena, like stuff like that, will that ever be explained? But for just this specific first story, I can understand that the ship was being really used to jump to the a space gate by feeding the creature that's in it.
Yeah,
that was the main point, and of course the doctor was trying to stop that from being done like that. But then because of that, he realized the time war was already starting to affect what's going on around him and the other planets. So that specific first story was not bad to realize. Okay, the time war is now starting to hit all the other universes and stuff like that in certain ways. So that really stood out pretty good. And of course, the introduction of Farik, the actress, was pretty good like that, because in a way, when she came in this story, she wasn't really the companion, but she just popped up to help the doctor, sort of in a way. So that really stood out like that. Of course, like the shout out that he mentioned his trouble with in Heathrow from the Faces one. That was a good thing. That was a good shout out to that. And seeing the other characters in that story, how the time loop is affecting them, because at one point they're doing something and the other they're not there no more. You know, like the Captain Davra, Quran, like that. So that really stood out. So you could tell from this one story that the time was going to be affecting a lot of people more ways than one. So that stood out. Whoa.
All right, man, that's cool. And for me, guys, I'd probably agree with the consensus here tonight. It does jump around a lot. It can get a tad confusing. There's probably an end game to this, as Tim alluded to. It's the first part of, essentially, it's going to be like 16 full stories by the time all 4 seasons are done. So we might get some type of resolution down the road, but if you're new to the 8th Doctor, I wouldn't start with this one, put it that way, because it really seems as if it starts slap bang in the middle or something, which it's probably intended to do, but it's definitely no one for the newbies when it comes to audio. It might frazzle your brain, ironically enough. But a good introduction for Raki for Car's Bliss. She seems forthright and independent for me, and she's capable of handling herself, so we'll see how she develops. Right, guys, any events or character that stood out for you in this tale, apart from the big bad troll eating everybody? Philip?
Anyway, so I don't know. I think the bit where the guy's tied up in the engine room, and then Doctor and whichever girl he's with at that flipping time, go and rescue him, and then time suddenly rewinds it again, and they go back and do it again. I kind of find that kind of weird, but it's a bit fun.
Okay, yeah. Obviously not a fan of this one, Phil, no.
No, I'm not.
Timbo, yeah.
No, I mean, you're right, though. I think it should pay off maybe by the end of the set, or maybe you're right, it's going to be a 16-episode story. Yeah. But so I found the whole thing a bit underwhelming, I guess, compared to like the previous Doom Coalition series, which was very good. And wasn't just all go. I mean, it had some timey-wimey kind of story, but it had slow parts as well. Whereas this just seemed to be confusing on purpose. Yeah. And maybe you're right, it will all come together at some point. But so far, I'm not really that thrilled with it.
Nah, that's kind of weird. So we'll see what happens. AJ, anything for you?
Yeah, the troll just always screaming, hungry. Yeah, that was a very clever thing. Also, I liked at the beginning of the story with the Time Lords are talking to each other over the radio. One of them's crashing. He's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Oh, that's right.
And the other guy's like, shut up. You're a Time Lord. Just deal with it.
There you go. Bureaucratic bullshit.
Hey, the question. I wonder, because I know I've listened to it, but did that Time Lord turn up and meet?
He crash landed and died.
He crash landed and died. Okay. Before you listened to this 4 times, what the fuck, Phil?
Exactly, because I kept thinking that was the end of the second segment that we're going to go into. Or was that the end of the first segment?
No.
Well, he died.
He died at the end. Well, anything for you?
Well, besides of course the doctor and the ladies that was his companion, I like the captain because you notice like he has to do what he do to go to hyperspace by feeding the creature. He stood up because then when the loop came around, he did in one of the loops. He ended up trying to help the doctor a lot of times, including sacrificing himself. So he stood up pretty good. And of course, the two married couple, who the McGuires, that was weird because they always be together like that, and they try their best to stay together and help each other, and of course help the doctor like that. But when the time loops around, you don't know, you can't anticipate what's going to happen with them. That was a weird thing, but it was pretty good, especially when they appeared in this what happened in the second story.
All right, that's fine, mate. And for me, I'm hungover. My head hurts. I can't make sense of this. I'll just say it was decent. Nothing wrong with the leads, but no, Tim's right. The writing really has to be tightened up on a story like this. It's just passable, is all I'll say. And from that, we head on over to the Echoes of War. The good spaceship Theseus crash lands on a jungle planet. We have flying monkeys or something to that effect in the distance, and we have a defunct Dalek called Dal leading the way. So, opening thoughts on Echoes of War, story number 2. Tim, any better for you?
Ooh, I was kind of talking about both of them. They kind of ran together for me.
Right.
To me, this is the lesser of the two. I think the first one was pretty much okay, and then it kind of devolved into this one where this is just very confusing because it's very loud and noisy. Yeah, and you can't always tell what's happening. And it's like, and then also in this one, the doctor disappears for a good chunk of the story, for no reason. And then I don't know. Like I said, as a whole, maybe the box set will come together in a better way, and maybe some of the stuff will make more sense later. Maybe we're just seeing bits and stuff because they are playing with time. So but it's just kind of hard to follow and hard to rate it on as separate stories when it's really just one story being told in 4 parts, I guess.
Yeah. Well. Should we even bother going to ratings, guys? Should we just cancel the cast now?
No, I don't hate it, but you get what I'm saying.
No, I get where you're coming from, man. Yeah, it's confusing. No bother. Philip, how about you? Echoes of War.
This for me was a better story because it had a bit more going for it in my eyes in regards to Dal, the Dalek. Although that's been done to death in the sense that a Dalek doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, we've had Rusty, we've had a few.
Exactly, so that's what I'm saying. So you've got some kind of anchorage there to the story where the Doctor's trying not to get the Dalek to remember who it is or what it's about. And then you've got the changing jungle scenario and all that. And then as you say, the flying monkey thing that reminds me of, that Wizard of Oz, where it's called, I don't know.
You got an in right, well done, Phil. Yeah.
It's a better story in a sense. I just enjoy it better because there's a lot more going on with it. And then this one has Raki Fakar being a proper companion without changing companions along the way. Is that right?
Yeah, well, she's in.
Correct.
She's in there. She's in there and she can use a gun, apparently.
Yeah,
so
there
you go.
So I liked it. This one better.
Yeah. Okay. So Boss is established a bit more in this one. Okay. Cool. AJ, Echoes of War, mate. Open the thoughts.
Yeah, I like this story a little bit more than the first one. I like the effect of the localized time distortions on the planet. The trees growing and dying, and dying. The sound effect for that was really cool. Also, when the Doctor goes missing, he doesn't go missing. The creatures take him away into the safe zone, closer to the
safe zone. Yeah.
TARDIS.
Yeah.
It sounds like he gets killed, which I thought was pretty cool because I like that concept of is he dead? Is he not dead? So, and Dal was just really well done because a Dalek with amnesia with the 8th Doctor who first regenerated and had amnesia too.
Yep.
So, yeah, quite done.
I think it's safe to assume he's not going anywhere because this is technically a prequel to John Hurt's series, so I doubt he'll be dying anytime soon, unfortunately. For anybody that doesn't like Bomb.
Time can be a wicked mistress.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Echoes of War, how about you?
Yeah, I liked this one more. Remember, this specific story, I liked it more because with the first one because there wasn't that much jumbling. The only thing that was going on, like Philip said, like in certain areas, the grass kept aging back and forth like that. That's why the Dalek Dal was taking them to the safe zone, but he knew the area that had the less chrono effects that would affect them. So that's why they had to follow them. And of course, him being a Dalek, he doesn't get tired or nothing like that. Where they had to take rest breaks, and of course, those flying monkeys or evolving monkeys was attacking them. Of course, later on we find out that was their way trying to communicate with the Doctor. Figured out when he was grabbed, so, for to communicate with each other. What upset me a little bit was the potential. We knew what was going to happen. That what happened to Dahl at the end. Because if that didn't happen, he could have been a potential ally with the Doctor with the way they were communicating with each other. So it looked like that could have been a good story plot. How the Time Lord maybe would have got more wins with the Daleks thanks to Dahl, but since we saw what happened with him thanks to the interference of Cardinal Lystra and her military, that didn't happen like that. And then of course at the end of the story, we in a way into sort of a cliffhanger, but not really cliffhanger because we know it goes to the next 2 episodes that we're gonna do another time. Yeah. So like that. So it was not bad, especially the other characters stood out that was walking along with the Doctor and Bliss and the Dalek, to go to the safe zone. So, they had their little moments communicating like that. That was not bad.
Right, that's fine, mate. That's cool. Yeah, this was better for me than the first one. Jackie Pierce shows up again, and she's an absolute bitch as always as a listener. Why not? You can't have too much of that. That should bring this up a notch for me. Dahl's fate was pretty much sealed once the Cardinal and the guards arrived. You knew it was going to happen there. And we've got a cliffhanger, obviously, going into story 3 where they're off on a spaceship to a prison camp or something like that. But the whole group, boot camp. The whole group's basically been, hijacked, and no TARDIS has yet been found. It's still missing.
No, what was the blue box that
Dahl found it. Remember?
That's right.
Lystra grabbed it and took it with her.
Yeah. I forgot that's right. They were levitating it. I remember that now. See, I told you I was hungover.
Well, they did something they've done before. The TARDIS is there, but it's just the outside case because the TARDIS is hiding. It doesn't want to.
Yeah. They done. I think it was an Eccleston story, wasn't it? The one with the Weavers. But no, it's a little better, this one. It was an interesting concept with the whole flying monkeys. The poor. Yeah, and you had the red shirt in the form of what was his name? The coward fella who. Yeah. The token black guy who got
Jefferson.
Yeah, there we go. Ironic. Hey, Jefferson. So yeah, Archie Bunker would have loved that. But yeah, he went by the by, and that was a painful way to go. But
he was played by Howard Morgan.
Yeah, there you go. What I mean. Every good story needs a couple of red shirts, and unfortunately, story number 2, he was out of there. An early lunch for him that day. But a lot better than the first one for me. Less confusing, albeit the concept has been done before as well, as I alluded to with the Dalek who has amnesia and whatnot. So, with that, guys, open mic portion of the cast. Anything else you want to bring up regarding these two before we get them rated? And good God, get this mercy killing over with.
Well, it's interesting that they appropriated the War Doctor's theme tune for this series.
Yeah, right? I was a little bit. I can understand they using it because it's the Time War, but I thought they were going to keep each Doctor with their own themes. It's a Doctor story, so I was a little bit confused about that.
Yeah, but McGann's already had about 3 or 4 different theme tunes, hasn't he? So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, for him it doesn't really. No, I mean he's had at least the movie one, the trilogy with Mary Shelley. It's by the by really when it comes to McGann. Take your pick and pin.
He had a different one with Lucy Miller, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was played once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
With the theme music, though, I thought it would have been cool if they had the normal 8th Doctor theme music, and then towards the end, just the last 2 strings of the War Doctor, and as each story goes, you get a little bit more towards the end of the War Doctors and less of the 8th Doctors, like a progression.
Yes,
they don't have the budget for that.
Yeah, somebody tweet. I dare somebody tweet that in Nick Briggs. Yeah, you did it.
I'm just saying because it's like it's an ominous foreshadowing of where he's going, sort of thing.
Yes, you're going tonight. That's fine. You're off to Cannes, Sonny Jim. It's not going to be pretty.
Well, you know, again, the two characters from the first story, the McGuires, was here too, and look, and them being like the people there were being afraid of them seeing the time things going on to the planet. Of course, they was yelling their head off, being scared, and of course, in a certain time, they mentioned they called the doctor, his name the doctor, and I think one of them say Time Lord. So that was, you know, and he was telling them to stop saying that because they're gonna make the Dalek remember who he is like that. So that these characters stood out, especially when Bliss was trying her best to keep everybody calm like that. So that was pretty good. So that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, she had to assume the role we did at one point as designated by the Dalek. So that was different. All right, guys. Anything else?
I like how the story from the first story with the ending, it just carries straight on to the second story.
That's what these generally do. These McGann box sets.
Not entirely. Yeah. Some of them have like a different sort of start from the end of the last one, but this one's just like one continuous almost movie for all 4 parts.
Well, we'll see what happens when we get to part 3 and 4 in a few weeks' time. Well, if that's us, guys, let's stick a fork in this debacle. It's done. It's that time again.
I got one question.
What?
Go ahead.
How many Time War boxes are we expecting out of this point?
4. The second one will come on July of next year.
Right. So there's 4.
And then the third and fourth, the July of each other year. Each year.
And in between, you're probably getting the sequel to Doom Coalition to fill the gap to get his 2 box sets a year.
So that means that Thaki Record, whatever name is, she's going to be throughout the rest of them.
Well, she's definitely the first 2.
Remember, we don't know for sure. Remember, it's a 4-box set, so we don't know if she's going to be able to, if her schedule will let her do 4-box set. But remember, the rumors going around because of what happened with that short trip about Susan.
Yeah,
so that's one thing that we trying to figure out if she's gonna pop up in one of the box sets.
She's definitely in the first 2, but I wouldn't take it as read she's enough. Remember what happened to Ruth Bradley and Molly O'Sullivan?
Exactly.
So it just depends on how busy she gets.
I'm just trying to tie it over to the Night of the Doctor.
So you're saying that these sets are yearly, and then they're going to have a separate set for the other half of the year that is the previous group or something?
I'm assuming that's what they're doing because they did say that they're doing a sequel to Doom Coalition. So
yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. We're going to have 2 different points in McGann's timeline getting flooded into our airwaves. Good night, and I look forward to that. Right, I'll try again. It's that time again. Well,
to make love to a Scottish woman that makes great sandwiches.
You'll not find many of them, I'll tell you. The Time War, Season 1, Story number 1, The Starship of Theseus, and Story number 2, Echoes of War. Paul McGann and Rocky Fakar. AJ, Story number 1, go. What do you reckon?
7 out of 10 for story number 1.
And number 2?
2 would be 9. It was a little bit more solid.
Ugly. Timbo, what's the numbers down technical way? Number 1?
7.
And number 2?
7.
7 all the way. There we go. It's double the 7.
I mean, I hope they pull it together. I hope it turns into something. You know.
Yeah.
Part 3 and 4.
Okay.
I will. I can't spoil it, but never mind. I'm going to give the first segment. I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
Because it's not as good as it should be. Number 2, I did kind of like it a bit more, so I'm going to give that an 8.
Okay, mate. Thank you. And well, what's the numbers from NYC?
The first story, I'm going to give it a 7.5, and the second one, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Thank you very much, sir. And with that, I will double down. I will give the first one, the Theseus, a 7 out of 10. And when it comes to Echoes of War, it gets an 8.5. You know, let's pick up the pace, folks. Let's get this going somewhere, please.
Unfortunately, you're not going to get that, but never mind.
Hey, you! How about shutting up and wait?
I'm not getting it. Okay.
I hate him. But anyway, I digress. That's us done for the evening on that spoiler. Thank you, Phil.
Give you anything away.
And we will say thank you to the panel for your attendance. It just leaves us to divulge what we will be tackling next week. We're back into Shabanu. We're back into Fraser Hines territory in the early adventures with Phil.
Night Witches.
There you go. Yes, he said witches, folks, not bitches. So we look forward to that, and we'll see how that one pans out. The early adventures are usually pretty good and pretty solid, so we look forward to tackling that. As always, guys, please check out our mates in the wonderful wacky world of the YouTube. You get the guys and dolls there at Geeks Assembled. You get Dr. Freedom and his new broadcast, his Omega Files, and the adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric, Sammy Cattle, Johnny Boys, Mike Shannon, whenever he's online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. You know the deal by now. You're getting the hell on out of here. I'm going into detox. And
lying bitch.
I know, I'll be drinking again next Thursday. And with that, take care of yourself, folks, and each other, and we are finito. Be seeing you.